This is my Logitech G9 mouse, and I had it for a really long time, many years I had this mouse, and I had to fix one of the buttons, the click, the actual sensor inside. I had to fix it once, and that was okay. That was many years ago. But now there is a problem. There is a problem with the sensor now. It's such a weird thing. When the mouse is not used, the computer is sitting overnight, it's not used, the mouse works normally, perfectly normally for 5 to 10 minutes, and afterwards it starts to move to the right, okay, but to the left not so much, like it stutters a little bit. Sometimes the mouse pointer on the screen will even, when the mouse is still sitting like this, it will drift the pointer to the left by itself. It's like ghosts, really, like a mouse ghost. Anyway, the thing I tried was to put the mouse upside down to make sure the drift is not happening when the mouse is not touching any surface, and there is no drift when the mouse is not touching surfaces. Also, a very strange thing, when even now, if I plug in the mouse and on any surface, on the mouse pad, on anywhere, it will not work, but on the glass, on the phone screen, it will work if I move it. I looked at the USB cable, looks decent here, but here when the cable enters the case of the mouse, it feels a bit weird here. There is a bit of, it feels weird, like the cable is not straight here. There's a bit of tension, a bit of weird tension. I'm really hoping this is just a problem of a bad contact. Hopefully this is only a problem of a bad contact for the data cables of the USB. And yeah, one time actually, when it was not working, I was moving it. I was moving the cable a little bit, and I got it working. That was yesterday. But today I tried this and it didn't do that, it didn't work. I also tried to plug in this cable into another USB port and a USB hub. Windows drivers, I tried to remove the device, add the device, but the thing is, if you have this kind of problem, the first thing to do is try it on another computer or a laptop, even on your phone. Okay, so here is my phone and I'm plugging in the mouse, and you will see the cursor on the screen, but when I move it, it doesn't move. The scroll works, a right click works, left click works, but it doesn't actually move. As you see, the pointer icon is there. I will show you on the computer. I wish I had the patience now to wait until it cools down. I don't know how much time it needs to cool down, or I don't know actually what's happening inside it. It could be that the sensor is going bad. So this sensor has a small laser light there. I will plug it in now. There should be, you see there is a small, that's the laser. And I tried pressing this button. It just will move. Okay, so now I'm using the wireless mouse. I have another mouse. I'm using the wireless mouse, so I put the wireless mouse there. And I'm using the wireless mouse to go there, and now I use the mouse. This one, I will use this one now. Right click works. With the left click I have to move with the wireless mouse, and look, I point it here, and when I click, okay, so I have now these two files here. I move it there, and if I click, it will change the focus. So now I will use the wireless mouse, but now I switch to the G9, and I click, left click. Okay, so now the mouse is focusing on the text file, and to test the left click works, right click works. Also, I can scroll this. I'm scrolling. I'm scrolling with the G9 mouse, scrolling with the wireless mouse. So only the cursor doesn't work. Okay, while I might put somewhere in a corner the actual position of the mouse, and you see it's not moving. I move it. Now I move it with the wireless mouse. This is the Logitech, another Logitech mouse. So I move it with the wireless mouse. And now with this one. Right click with this one, it works. Right click with that one, it also works. Okay, so what's the problem now? Okay, let's find out. Yeah, I want to show you. So now this is getting weird. So I move the wireless mouse, move the Logitech G9, but when I put it on the phone screen like this, use the phone as a pad, look, it's working. It's so weird. On the glass surface on the screen, it's working normally, same as the wireless. It does get weird a bit at some point. No. So I can move it in circles. Even highlight the mouse now. Okay, let's try on the back of the phone. On the back of the phone, yeah, it still works. Kind of. It's lagging a little bit. This is what it's doing on the normal surface. You see it's working, and then when I move it left or right, it starts to lag behind, and eventually it doesn't work anymore. It has to be the sensor. I believe it's the sensor. Either the sensor is going bad, or hopefully it's just a bad USB connection somehow. Maybe one of the power USB cables is not delivering enough power, or I don't know. So yeah, I don't want to point the laser too much at the camera, not to damage the sensor. You shouldn't really look at the laser. I don't know if it really could do any damage, but in general, don't look at lasers directly. It's not good for the eyes. Camera you can replace, but your eyes are much more precious. So be careful when you play with the laser mouse. But look, it's really working. And it's precise on the glass. But when I put it on this, it's not working. So I have to use this one. I could try this white cloth. It's not moving on this one. Try the remote. On the remote is working. Interesting. On this side. On the clear white plastic, when the clear white plastic, it doesn't work. Only on the transparent part of the remote. It only works on the transparent part of the remote, so maybe something is off with the plastic. I think it moved just a little bit. Interesting. have this filter box. It works on this one, so I could use a mouse pad made of this kind of fishing tackle box. And on the mouse pad, for sure, it's not, but if I will try to play around with the wire a little bit. Really, I could do this yesterday. I feel like I'm going crazy with this thing now. It's moving. It moved a bit. Really, it could be just the wire, this suspicious wire here. So I got it to move just a little bit on the screen. I didn't drop the mouse, nothing really changed. Only thing that changed really is a BIOS update that I did on the computer. But if the computer is the problem, then the mouse should work on the phone or on another computer. I have a laptop, but I can't be bothered to take it out and try it now. I'm sure it's not gonna work. I'm sure it's gonna be the same. It moved. Yeah, I think it's the cable. I believe the cable is a bit damaged. I believe the cable is a little bit damaged, maybe more than a little bit, and it doesn't give enough power to the sensor. So it's enough power it has enough power for the lights on it to work, and the right click and left click, those don't need too much power, but the laser looks like, and now it's moving. Interesting. I don't know if you saw it. I have on the screen, I will keep on the screen. By itself is moving now. So I did the click by mistake. Yeah. Maybe it sees the camera. I think it sees the camera. Okay, let's open it up. I don't want to mess with it too much. Okay, unplugged. Press the button and release it. Modular. Clicks here and here. This is the release. It moves these releasing pins. These are the weights for the mouse. I opened it before, so this is not the original, but it's the same pad. I just had to glue it again. Keep these two safe. Try not to lose the screws. Okay, Okay, so now it's time to take it apart. Okay, so there is this contact. Don't think I need this to test the sensor. There is this flat cable contact. I have a feeling if I remove this I won't be able to put it back. I don't know. Let's see. I think this was broken, or don't know. I believe I broke it when I tried to fix it before, and we'll see if I can put it back together, but we'll see that. That's the connector, flat flex. I remember now, it was a long story to put this thing back, so it's gonna be a nightmare to put this back. That's the flat flex connector for all the buttons on top of the mouse. Actually it's only for this on the left and for the light. So I can live without those, it's not a problem. It's only for this left action buttons. What was written here? Okay, so it's only for these action buttons here and for the buttons on top and the light there. Okay. I always had a problem with this button. One of them wasn't working properly from the beginning when I bought it. Okay, so now this is full of dust. It's full of dust, really. And that's the sensor there. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. I tried cleaning it. I forgot to tell you that I did try to clean it before going further. Clean the lens, inside, everything. It's all clean. First thing to do for sure is to make sure all those two lenses are clean. And I removed a bit of the cotton from this cotton bud. You see, this one is bigger and this one is smaller. I removed a little bit of the cotton to have so it fits inside there. It didn't do anything, it didn't change anything, because the problem is not dirt. Oh, that's weird. Maybe it's supposed to look like this. It's a bit tilted. This looks tilted, I don't know. Okay, I will plug it in. So let's see where is the USB cables. Yeah, the cables are coming here, but there is nothing really. They go around from this to the connector and there. So how many we have here? Should be 4. Yeah. Don't know, it's weird. There's 2 black ones. Okay. This is the right click and left click. You see on the screen the red is the right click, green is the left. The green is the right click and red is the left click. From these sensors, actually one of them, this one, I removed it. You see it's a different. I removed this and I put a new one. And that's the scroll wheel. Scroll wheel looks okay. Maybe it's dust in the sensor. It doesn't change anything. Oh, it moved? Or what a mistake? So this is the sensor. There's no dust. It's all protected. So I'll try when I move this. Ah, it's moving. I see it moving. Okay. I'm really pretty sure it's the cable. That would be ideal, easy to fix. Interesting system. So now I move the cable out from this place, and now actually, how is it? Come on. It was moving. It's plugged in now. Is it? Okay, it's plugged in. I'll move it back to the place. So it's coming back randomly. I'll put it back with the other mouse. Interesting system. I think I can go around it so I don't have to open the board, or I don't know. It's moving now. It moved again. It's a cable. I can look at it. Yeah, I moved it. Okay. Unplugged. It's time to get this thing open. One screw here, one screw here, one screw here. I don't know if I have the right screwdriver for it, but it's working, so it doesn't matter. Very tiny. Yeah, with this, if I remove this, it's gonna be a bit of a problem to put back the scroll wheel, but I have to remove them. These are a bit longer, so the scroll wheel screws are a bit longer. Okay. I think these are all the screws. I don't see any more screws, so it should be easy to lift now. I will try to keep the scroll wheel together. Okay, it's coming out. Okay, scroll wheel fell. There is that. Some part which I don't know where that part goes now, so these are the sensors. These are the some kind of sensor. Yeah, it's a sensor, optical sensor for the scroll wheel. And that's the back. This is where I installed the new sensor. I replaced the sensor. So basically, if your left or right click mouse doesn't work, you can use this from any other mouse, this special mouse sensor, and glue it in. Three connections here. It's a bit hard to remove the solder, but you can do it. I did that before. Okay. Interesting thing there. So this is the Logitech G9 gaming mouse. Really old gaming mouse, but it was working a long time without any issues. Only recently started to have problems, and you see it's very clean. These surfaces here, they're very well aligned and clean. And I have this is the USB cable. It's fused here. It's gonna be a bit of a problem to replace. I can still try to plug it in and see if it makes a difference when I move the wires. Okay, it's plugged in now. Let's see the right click. Right click works. It moved just a bit. Don't know what I'm gonna do with these fused wires here. It's really gonna be difficult to cut them. One thing I didn't try before I start taking things apart, I removed it from the computer. I wanna try and disconnect this. Everything looks normal on this wire, but here on this part I don't like it. Here it's a bit, and this isolation, it looks almost torn down completely. Okay, I'll plug it back in. How you know how to plug it back in? See where the pins are. The pins are on top. I'm starting to lose patience here. Okay. No, it's wrong. No, it's the other way around, like this. Okay, so fully inserted. And I will plug it in again. I'll plug it in again. Okay. Yeah, maybe it really is the sensor, so maybe it's time to say goodbye to the G9. Here this cable doesn't look like it's damaged or anything. But it's too much a coincidence that when I move this cable, it starts to wiggle. Wiggling. Ah, it's moving a bit. I see it. here, this is the red there. Ah, it moved. Oh, so now it's working. Look at it. Here now, I move it left and right. And now it's gone again. Yeah, now it's working. I apply pressure to the cable on the other side. Also working. It has to be the cable. It has to be the cable, really. Now working again. Okay, so imagine if it's just Windows drivers and it's or the Surface. And not working, not working, not working. When I press it, not working. Okay, I will try to replace this cable and see how it goes. Might be a bit of a problem. I unplugged it from the computer. I decided that maybe the difference here in the plastic material could make a difference. Maybe it's calibrated for that distance, so I put it back in the case. And it's still not working still. When I move the cable. Yeah, I put it in the case and I forgot to, let's plug it back in. Okay, so now it's in the case and I move it. And the distance is exactly as it should be to the bottom there. And it's still not working. Press all the way in. Now it worked a little bit. So when I massage this cable, it starts working for a while. Yeah, now it's working again a bit. Yeah, okay, so I will really take it apart. Okay. I will keep this for later. And now the USB cable is gonna be a bit of a problem. I have to remove this. There is really too much tension on it here, so it has to be the cable. It's interesting that there are two black cables, so we have two black, red, white and green. But I'm going to try to stick them from here. I can't re-crimp this connector. I'm gonna try to get this insulation open from here. I think the second black cable is actually the the shielding. It looks like the second black cable is the shielding, so that's why there is one black cable from inside and then the shielding also together. So I'm gonna try to open this gently. I don't want to damage the cables inside. This is just a heat shrink tube. So if I really pull it, it should come out clean. Okay. These wires seem okay, nothing wrong with them. And this one is very weak here, barely touching there. Maybe that's the reason this ground wire is broken. But it's still making contact, so it's not that one. It still has good contact there. Interesting how they did it. I think they kept from the shielding, they put a heat shrink tubing on this. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, this is heat shrink tubing, and they took a strand from there and they put it here. That's interesting, yeah. And this is it's heat molded here perfectly, so I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Maybe with a bit of force. Okay, so first I'll cut these ones. So this is the point of no return. That's the point of no return here. This is the point of no return once you start cutting cables. That's done. Anyway, it's not working, the mouse, so if I can't get it working, it's gonna go to the dumpster. E-waste dumpster. I will try to use the screwdriver, or I don't know how to get this thing out. Okay, cut from here also. And I will really just use a screwdriver. Later I can glue it back. Maybe that's what they did, they put a bit of glue. Oh, this is a great use for the reamer. I will use the reamer on the Victorinox. Let's try. Okay, it's coming out. And pull it out. Okay. Have to make the hole big enough for the actual cable to go through. Still some leftover. That's the sleeve of the cable, of the old cable. This might be a bit difficult to put back in, but okay. I think it's glue. I think it was, or no, it's this has like a fabric layer. Okay, this thing it's ready, and before going further with anything, before going further with anything, I want to make sure that the actual cable is the problem. So I'll make a bit of a cut further away from the edge, make a bit of a cut further away from maybe here. Nice clean cut. Maybe even further. Don't apply too much pressure now. All I'm trying to do is remove this sleeving coating. Okay. You can actually put it back pretty easily. Just one piece here. Okay. Now that's gone. We have the sleeve. This really nice insulation, very well insulated. Oh, don't tell me I have to cut this also. No. Okay. So here we have the regular USB cables. I'll try to make contact between them without soldering them to see if this is actually the problem, so I don't waste too much time on this. Okay. Red is open. I cut the green by mistake. Green is open. This black is open, but I will leave it like this. Black. The black is open. White is open, and let's do it on this side. Okay, black is open, kind of. White is open. Same with the red. And same with the green. Okay, so now I want to try to make it so they connect with each other, but also they don't short each other, so I don't know exactly how I'm gonna do this. First, this red, black, and the two black, they go to this one black here. This is a bit suspicious, really. Okay. The two whites, join the two whites together. No, I'm gonna have to solder them. It's too difficult like this. Okay, I will temporarily solder them and come back. I'll try to do a bit of a trick now to get the sleeve on top of it. A bit of duct tape. Like that. Okay, like this. And now it's the hard part. I will try to get all this through. Probably I broke it, I don't know. Ah, there was some other part inside there. Okay. I think we got it. Okay, spin it, spin and pull over the sleeve. Okay, so in case this will work, after it works, if it works, I will just put a bit of super glue there and it's gonna keep it closed. Okay, so they all have a bit of heat shrink tubing. I'll solder these wires together and then I come back to put them, to cover them with the heat shrink and test the mouse, see if it works. Okay, they are temporarily soldered now, more or less. I will try to cover them just to protect from short circuit. The black wire with the heat shrink on it goes to the insulation and I can't really cover it. It's too much. This one maybe. I will leave it like this. I don't want to disconnect them and go back to soldering them. So okay, this is this is all temporary now, only to test if it's worth it to continue and try to use the mouse. And I will, where is the board? I will plug it into the board. Okay. All plugged in and hopefully they don't get disconnected. Oh yeah, it's still not moving. Goes in the case. Okay, it's in the case, but now with the separate from OBS recording also. It moved just a bit, but it's not enough. The right click works. The left click works. Looks like this is going to be a failure. It's not moving. Yeah, looks like the sensor is gone. Oh, it moved a bit now. Nope. So it's not the USB cable. I have no idea what could be wrong now with this thing. I saw it moving now a little bit. I think it's really the sensor. It's been working for a lot of years. This is the laser mouse failed repair. There's some part moving inside there. It could be anything, it could be one of these parts, but I wouldn't have replacement parts for them. Could be a resistor. It could be the sensor itself, so I think it's the sensor. The sensor is just bad now, and there is no... I wouldn't have a way to repair it. It's moving slightly once in a while. Now the spring is to keep the tension. When I touch this, let's see, if I touch any of these pins, oh, when I touch the sensor there, it moved. Now it's moving again. I think it's mostly about electrical contact and this, you shouldn't try this at home, I have to say, even if it's only USB voltage, only 5 volts, but You never know, you might hurt yourself. Don't blame me if you try to do this and you hurt yourself. So, okay. It's really just moving sometimes. And it's interesting that on a glass mouse pad it would work perfectly, but I don't want to use this as on a glass, and I think it's on its way out anyway. And it's jumping around a little bit. If you see it, I move it smoothly, but it's jumping around. So the sensor has some problems. Yeah. Trying to go in a perfect line. It's really, this one is, it's done. Okay, so now time to salvage anything out of this. I will salvage the USB cable. I will salvage the USB cable. Could use this. I could use this as a USB charger or whatever, anything. No need to have this part here. That's done. That connector is not much useful for anything, but let's see what's inside if we turn this into a teardown. These buttons, you could keep them. If you have a mouse that if the buttons fail, like this one, you could replace it. Let's see what this sensor is about, how it looks like. Can I just pull it like this? I think maybe I could. Not sure. It's one block. I have to go like this back and then down, maybe. Let's see. It's so interesting how they put this together. That's the laser diode. Interesting. This is the laser diode here. You give this power, it will make laser light. It has its separate board. Imagine if it was just some small problem here, but it's something else that is wrong, because the laser was on, but something else. It could have been just a resistor on the board, but I don't have the tools and the knowledge. I don't know how they're supposed to be like, and I don't really have the patience to try to fix this mouse. So yeah, that's the laser diode. And then there should be a sensor. It's built in. So it's the emitter and the receiver at the same time, all in one, through these lenses. I think now I can pull it out. Oh, interesting. The bottom of this chip fell out, or I don't know. Don't know what happened here. Oh wow. Not only did it fall out, but this is probably the reason why it wasn't working. You can see the actual chip inside there. This is probably the reason why. That's probably the reason. This is probably the reason why the thing wasn't working anymore. Because the chip was exposed. So this chip here, which is the brain of this thing, some piece of it fell out. Maybe it was supposed to be like this. Maybe it was just for the light here. This was receiving the signal, the laser, but somehow it fell out. I don't know if it was like this before, but that's the chip there. Very interesting. This is the closest I can show it to you, and upside down. Yeah, so it was probably the sensor was on this chip, on the edge of that chip there. Yep. Time for a new mouse. Write in the comment section below if I should keep using the wireless mouse I use now, some cheap Logitech, or I should get some laser. And what to do with these weights. A repair video turns into a teardown. It can happen sometimes, but I think it worked. I had this since 2005, 2007, 2008. So it's been working really a long time. Thanks for watching, and I hope this was useful for you. Time to gather the pieces.